Welcome to Solver Phi.
So we're being asked to determine how we find similarities or region of similarity between cell types or species. Okay, and the question says which sequencing technique is used to accomplish this. And I think the way that this question is worded is slightly confusing because it specifically says sequencing technique. And sequencing technique is a technique that's used to determine the sequence of a polyunit molecule, be it a polypeptide or a polynucleotide or maybe even a polysaccharide, right? So a sequencing technique basically is a technique that determines the sequence of the units in that molecule. Sequencing techniques do not compare regions, do not find regions of similarity between different sequences. They just find the sequences. There are other methods to find similarities. Okay, so I think it would make more sense to answer this question if we remove the word sequence and we just say what technique is used to find regions of similarity. That makes a little more sense, right? So if we look at our answer choices, the only answer choice that doesn't talk about sequences is choice B, which talks about sequence alignment. Okay, and that makes sense, right? Sequence alignment, you're talking about aligning different sequences, and this is what that looks like. So on the left-hand side, we have sequence alignments of different proteins. So this is protein. Okay, and you have different proteins that are listed this way, and you are aligning their amino acid sequence to basically find how similar all of these different proteins are. And these proteins could be from different cell types or different organisms. Likewise, you can sequence DNA or RNA to basically accomplish the same thing, depending on what's easier at the moment, or equipment you have, or depending on the research answer that you're trying to answer. Basically, you can align sequences of proteins or sequences of DNA and RNA in order to find out similarities between cell types. The more similar the protein or the DNA between two cells or between two organisms, the more closely related they are. So choice B is the correct answer.